And Marconi escapes pressure and throws an interception, and Grayson will return it for a touchdown. We are tied. Rocco Marconi scrambling away from a defender, and Grayson steps in front of the pass and scores. 3rd down and 5, 1 minute to go in the quarter. Still no Bulldog wideout has caught a pass. Hart is out of the shotgun with Baja to his left, and Hart will hand off on a delay. No, he won't. Sacked in the backfield, Joe Dazzo on a blitz, and he's poking fun at Jasper Hart down on the ground. Joe Dazzo, forget about David Baja, he just creams Jasper Hart, and it's another 4th down.
2nd and 9 to the 48. Honolulu just 1 timeout left. They get the ball, leaving with about 30 seconds left. Hand off Parker. Parker's got the first down. Parker! Back attack! Attack! Out of the 6-yard line. Ball game!
Between arguably the top 2 teams in the league coming up in a couple of weeks. 3rd down and 4. Zuli back to pass. Deep shot to Corky's wide open inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line.
Red Feather's going to have Brewski in the backfield, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. Red Feather pump fakes once, right-hand side. That's going to be picked off! Picked off by O'Neal. Julius O'Neal with his first interception of the day.
It's panic time now for the Pride. Christensen throws. That's batted up in the air and intercepted. It's taken away and down the sideline goes number 20. Lucius Sanders put it on the board. Touchdown, Cleveland. Oh my goodness.
And here's the counter play to Zulu, and Ogun will go. He's his best run of the day, and Ogun Zulu will go for the touchdown. Wow, what a run by Ogun Zulu.
Unbelievable. Man, they're being very precise, like exactly what you wanted them coming out of the half. And Pickler dropping back. He's going to fire deep, and it's going to be caught. And he's at the 30 to the 20 to the 10 and taking it into the end zone. Nick Finch with a huge touchdown, and just, wow, what a play from the Gladiators, and the coverage there from the Tyrants. The DB went for the interception, and he came up with error.
1st and 10 from the 21 here. Just over 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Chicago trying to uppercut this St. Louis Gladiators team and put them on the ropes. King, shotgun snap, moves in the pocket, fires deep down the field, caught at the back line! What a grab, and the first touchdown of Greg Soto's career is a spectacular one.
Greg Soto coming in, replacing the retired J.C. Torres. Said, "Don't worry, Chan. I know you lost a great one."
This will be just under 32 yards for Otis Boudreau. On his left hash, the right footer stands ready. Spot is down. Kick is up. It is good. Otis Boudreau does it again in walk-off fashion. Louisiana taking down Florida 20-19.
They go 4 wide with the tight end split out. Stopped over the middle, throws another interception, and this time it's Jack Brown.
That one's going to the house.
Scores touchdown at the 36.
They call this, Colin, the law of averages. You know, whenever there's this many interceptions going on in a game, one of them's bound to go back to the house and get some points, right?
Oh my goodness. Now multiple linebackers have an interception, but this time Jack Brown turns around and runs it into the end zone.
And I'll tell you something. Deep drop for Dunhill. He's going to lob it deep. It's going to be caught. No one around him. He's going to be in. Touchdown. Forward Toros. Stephen Hacker does the robot and gets us off flying.
Season 20, game 167 takes us to Indianapolis, Indiana, where tonight 2 teams battling losing streaks and battling the rest of the league's playoff positioning take center stage when the Tulsa Desperados face the Indianapolis Ramblers from the Snake Pit. Good evening. Welcome to Indiana. Along with Paul Sarp, I'm Cameron Irvine, Greg Soto, Ron Haynes are on stats. We are ready to go on a beautiful Sunday night from Indianapolis. Paul, good evening.
Cam, I can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight. A lot on the line for both of these teams. With the win, Tulsa clinches the division, and they got the playoffs locked in. With an Indianapolis win, they're in. A lot of teams need a certain scenario to happen for their teams to get in, so a whole bunch of fans of the league, players in the league tuned in tonight, and it's going to be a great game. Can't wait for kickoff.
No, it's not Monday. Paul and I just love you a little bit more this week as the team captains head down to center field to get things going. It's JQ calling tails. Brett Killian, Sunday night delight, perhaps. Tulsa wins the toss. They'll defer to the second half. We'll get to see that high-powered Indy offense first. We are all set. Brooke Beisel has the ball on the tee. And puts the hand in the air. Let's go. Kick it. We are underway. Kanye Rockefeller, the ever dangerous Kanye Rockefeller, gets it up to the 24-yard line. Colin Pierce in this electrifying offense, which we saw 2 weeks ago, Paul, lose off of a ball that bounced off the post and in, securing Atlanta's top seed.
And that was a spectacular game. And I know it's not Monday, but that game was absolutely spectacular to witness in real time, and a tough one for Indianapolis, but Atlanta getting it done, and let's hope for Indianapolis doesn't face the same thing.
Jeff Banfield wide open on the game's first play inside the 20 down to the Tulsa 12-yard line. Indy starts with a bang.
Wow, and what a way to start the game from Indianapolis. Colin Pierce taking the shot early to Jeff Banfield for his 87th catch of the year, and what a time to start this game for Banfield on his 123rd target.
That is not the start that Tulsa's defense was looking for. A 76-yard pass down to the 12, 30 seconds into this one.
Just a truly great start. Exactly what this high-flying Indianapolis offense was looking to do coming into this game.
Out of the shotgun, Colin Pierce changes the play, then goes underneath to Ryan Roosevelt, who leads all receivers this season, and it is not close, down to the 5.
And getting Ryan Roosevelt involved is exactly what this Ramblers offense is looking to do. When you have a receiver putting out the output of close to 1,700 yards, only 19 away headed into tonight, already got 7. Just a truly great performance from Roosevelt this season.
Colin Pierce back in the end zone, tipped up and incomplete. That ball swatted away by David Ware. And, man, if Tulsa could get out of this with a field goal, that'd be a huge win.
Most definitely. Tulsa defense on this first drive is just looking to bend and not break. It's exactly what they're trying to do. Indianapolis most definitely trying to break that defense of Tulsa.
Roosevelt bottom, Banfield top of your screen. 8 in the box for Tulsa. Goal line look, 3rd and 3 at the 5. Colin Pierce going to throw, looking for Banfield. Pass tipped up and incomplete, and the defense holds for the Desperados. Nate Heslop with the deflection. What a relief for Tulsa, who gave up 48 last week in the loss to Atlanta. Both these teams know what it's like to lose to the Swarm over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, the Atlanta Swarm are no strangers to getting wins against these teams. We saw it in just the past few weeks. Tulsa, as you mentioned, 48 points let up against Atlanta. So to get a stop here after a huge first play from Jeff Banfield is definitely a huge moral victory for the Desperados.
Extra point is on the way, or a field goal, rather, is on the way, and good for Indy, 3-0. The Ramblers on top of the Desperados. It is very early. Paul Sarp, Cameron Irvine with you here from Indianapolis. We will be breaking down all of the updated playoff scenarios as we go through the night, but for now, settle in and cheer for who you think you want to win. Indy, a 4.5-point dog at home, according to Jack's data, 57.5 over under. Indy does have the worst record of the two teams. Tulsa 7-4 coming in. Gabriel Manning, the spark plug of this offense, gets it out to the 30. And in a game, Paul, where we quite possibly may have two of the best returners to ever do it in the SFL. Jeffrey Dagg's not here, but Manning and Rockefeller, this game should be fireworks in the special teams game.
Most definitely. When there's 8 special teams touchdowns between these two players, you already know what type of special teams players these are.
Handoff, Douglas Brown around the right side, and Tulsa's got some explosivity of their own, this time on the ground game to the Indianapolis 37.
And Douglas Brown having an exceptional season with his second season here in Tulsa. That carry just helped Douglas Brown reach 1,000 rushing yards on the season, looking to make his way into the top 10 with a big performance tonight.
So our first look at Tulsa this season with our Impact Monday crew. Tulsa's offense led by JQ, Douglas Brown, Lars Bazar is your fullback at the backfield, Sonzo Robinson, Corey Jones, DJ Human, Gabriel Manning, your talented receiving core. Tight end is DJ Bandit, the former champion Vulture, as Brown gets a handoff for nearly a first down, dragged down by Bryant James. The left side of this line is the strength. The tackle, Will Stevens, at guard, Phoebe Collins, both made the All-Star team last season, second in inches.
There's just superstar talent all over the field here tonight, Cam, from both teams.
There absolutely is, and if both teams are playing to their best of their abilities, as Brown picks up a first down to the 22, Paul, they're two of the best teams in the league, but the problem has been for both of these teams is that some games they come out and they just look a little flat. They just don't play their best football. So far, so good for both squads tonight offensively.
Yeah, on the first play of both of their drives, getting huge gains to start the game is definitely the momentum both teams were looking for to start.
Underneath, Gabriel Manning, that is the difference between an elite receiver and an average receiver. He takes that underneath route, quickly cuts it up the field, 12-yard pickup to the Indy 10, first and goal.
That is exactly what makes a wide receiver elite, and we've seen all season long Gabriel Manning make plays like that to help Tulsa to the 7-4 record they currently have.
First pass of the game for Q, and Douglas Brown fumbled the ball. It's on the ground and recovered by Indianapolis. Scooping it up was Rocco Rossi. First turnover of the game.
And what a huge win for the Indianapolis defense to force the ball out of Douglas Brown's hands. Not something we've seen too often, as that's only his second fumble on the season. Great job from Indianapolis defense on a red-hot Tulsa drive to be able to force a turnover like that and get the ball back for Colin Pierce in your offense. It was a great play from that Ramblers defense.
Fumble forced by Derek Jenko in his 6th season of the SFL. And Colin Pierce will nearly give it right back, but it's caught! A 7-yard gain, that's Jay Viper. And Jaden Swift was injured on the play for the Tulsa defense. That's a defensive tackle on the line in his 7th season. Oh, man, I'm going to be wiped at the end of this one.
What an absolute stunning play there, which I thought it was going to be intercepted and tipped and returned for a touchdown. Nope. 7 yards for Indianapolis. Let's hope Jaden Swift's all right and can get back out there on the field soon.
That was Douglas Brown's second fumble of the season, by the way. Ryan Roosevelt is tapped out after the first down to the 21-yard line from Cameron Shaw. Points to the scoreboard and says, so far, so good, Ramblers and Skyhawks, for that matter. Indy's offense, Colin Pierce, Christian Pierce in the backfield. Wide receivers Rob Hunt, Jay Viper, Ryan Roosevelt, and Jeff Banfield. Tight end is Randy Pierce. Their guard play is the strength of this offensive line. Chad Rowland at left guard, Max Van Linge at right. The first-round pick, number 25 of Indy this past season. 1st and 10 at the 21, 7:16 to go. And Colin Pierce's pass over the middle is caught.
Whoa.
That is a fumble, and that is recovered by, who's got it?
I think Tulsa.
Tulsa recovered. I believe Travis Arthur ended up recovering the fumble. Now this one, not as clear-cut.
Yeah, let's take another look at that. Wow.
Whoa, well.
Did he have possession?
He turned around.
Yeah.
Boy, that ball stayed on the ground a long time. Travis Arthur eventually recovered. Indy's going to challenge. This is a lot closer than I originally thought because it looks like he turns upfield before the ball comes out.
Yeah, and wow, what a start. 2 fumbles, Cam. Wow.
Does he turn? Oh.
I'm not sure. That is really close.
I don't think I've ever seen one that is that close. I'm good with it either way. It is overturned, so it is going to be an incomplete pass. That was very, very close. I'm surprised they had enough evidence to overturn the call, but not upset with the call either.
The fireworks are out early in this first quarter. We're only 5 minutes in. We already saw 1 fumble, almost another one there. Good challenge there from Indianapolis.
So, Colin Pierce out to Christian Pierce, and Christian Pierce just throws a man down. That's a 3-yard pickup. Marco Swift was the guy that went flying. Let's meet that Tulsa defense on the line. Chris Andrews, Berto DeMora, Mike Mello, and Jaden Swift, who's already hurt in this game. Linebacker Miles Gibson. It plays inside. David Ware and Philadelphia Collins play outside. Corners, Nate Heslip, Jay Rock, and Cameron Shaw. The safeties are Travis Arthur and Marco Swift. 3rd and 7 at the Indy 25. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side of Colin. Colin steps up in the pocket. Now scrambles left, now throws it deep. That passes off the hands of Viper. He dropped it. Lost it in the lights. And Tulsa's defense will get off the field. It looked like Viper had every opportunity at that. And instead it falls incomplete.
Most definitely. And Colin Pierce with his pocket presence, a great job as the pocket started breaking down to move up. If somewhat throwing it on the run, if he had threw that maybe a yard further, we might be watching an extra point rather than a punt here.
So Banfield with his 64-yard catch earlier now has 992 yards on the season, so he's 8 away from that, so we're keeping track of that milestone. Gabriel Manning calls for a fair catch at the 44-yard line. $4.99 super chat from DJ Kilgannon, Swift Brothers on top. And earlier, $4.99 super chat from Skippy cheering for Indianapolis, and that is what Carolina is doing tonight. Carolina is in with an Indy win. They are out with a Tulsa win. And that pretty much sets the stage for Carolina. Douglas Brown gets into Indy territory. For the Skyhawks, they could get 8th or 9th. That seeding will be determined by who wins tomorrow's big game between Fort Worth and Mexico City.
And just like the game we're watching here, fireworks early, I expect nothing different tomorrow night between Mexico City and Fort Worth. As far as that game, that's tomorrow night, but the result of this game is going to be huge for a lot of teams in the league, and I know all these teams with playoff implications and playoff hopes on the line are all tuned in now watching.
Handoff, Douglas Brown got a first down to the Indy 44. $5.69 super chat from Harish Prasad. Indy. Good news for Tulsa. Douglas Brown running hard. 48 yards on 4 carries, now 52 yards on 5 carries in the first 5 minutes. They are a better team when he is running well.
Most definitely, and when Douglas Brown can get going, it opens the passing game up for JQ to just play his game rather than trying to come from behind and make a comeback or just forcing passes.
That pass is caught. DJ Hume And JQ definitely looks much more comfortable when Douglas Brown is keeping them ahead of the sticks. Q is now 3 for 3. He's hit 3 different receivers, and that pass was crisp with a capital C.
JQ, 2,611 yards on the season, 14 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. So the touchdown to interception ratio's been a little down this season, but JQ looking pretty good to start this game.
Douglas Brown now over 1,000 yards on the season, the 12th running back to get there. That pass is intercepted as we were hyping up Q. Kanye Rockefeller takes the hype away, and Indy's defense continues to force turnovers inside the 20.
Kanye Rockefeller, not only a special teams monster, a highlight safety for this Indianapolis Ramblers defense, getting his 7th interception tonight.
So we mentioned Carolina's in with an Indy win. Well, Mexico City, Alamo City, and San Diego are all in if Tulsa wins the game. So all of those teams are cheering on the Desperados here tonight as Roosevelt catches another route for his 3rd receptions. Jaden Swift ruled out for back spasms. Maybe he tries to make a go of it in such a critical game, but Paul, Tulsa is in no matter what. That's something to consider, even though they're trying to go for the division.
Absolutely, and Jaden Swift, a huge, big body down there for the Desperados defensive line.
And that means that Christian Pierce has more room to do things like that. Miles Gibson, 6'3", 250 pounds, looked like a balloon in the wind on that play. 1st and 10 for Pierce and Pierce.
And going back to Tulsa's defensive line, 3rd in the league in tackles for loss with 91. Every single defensive lineman on their team has 12 or more, with Berto DeMora with 22 on the season.
This is out to Banfield, and Banfield, who's trying to get hit the 1,000-yard threshold, is now 4 yards closer to that. $5 super chat. Indianapolis winning 1K yards. Come on, baby. $5 super chat from Shravan Prasad. Something I never thought I'd say in 2023, but let's go Kanye. 777 super chat from Zach Huldorf. Let's go Tulsa. 550 super chat Canadian from Brett. We'll get to that in a moment as that pass is tipped up in the air. An incomplete 3rd and 6 coming up. Vancouverites are cheering for Indy for a 7-5 logjam and potential home wildcard game, we think. We'll get to Vancouver here in a little bit. 333 from Brooke and Mike. Let's go Tulsa. I think we're all caught up on a big 3rd down.
Keep them rolling in. Super chats. The SFL Nation is showing up tonight, late night, Sunday night, for this huge playoff deciding game for plenty of teams in the league.
And last night, Paul, you said you got lost about scenario 2. Is that right?
Absolutely. I was trying to follow along. Wow, I can't believe that.
3rd and 6. That's Randy Pierce caught for the 1st down at the Indy 41-yard line. Moving the chains for the Ramblers.
A absolutely whole family reunion for the Pierces. Colin Pierce throwing dimes to Randy Pierce. Christian Pierce getting 1st downs for the Ramblers. And the Ramblers are just rambling on here on this drive, trying to make it a 2-possession game.
3:50 to go in the 1st to the Indy 41-yard line. Pierce now 8 of 13 for a $112. Banfield's got 68 yards, and Roosevelt's got 3 receptions. Make that 4. Turning the corner. Makes a move. Brian Roosevelt to the Tulsa 44. Yak. 1st down, Indy.
And this is exactly why the Ramblers went after Ryan Roosevelt, and he's showing why he's the #1 receiver in the league. A truly great play after the catch to spin, make a defender miss, and pick up a few extra yards.
1st and 10 of the Tulsa 44, 3:06 to go in the 1st, and Christian Pierce gets a carry for a couple. Going back to Vancouver's situation, the only way that Vancouver does not host a first-round playoff game next weekend is if Tulsa wins and Mexico City wins. So 75% chance at this point Vancouver will be at home next weekend. We'll see how things develop tonight. 2nd and 8 at the Tulsa 42-yard line. Slants down the middle and hit as he threw. Colin Pierce is decked by Berto DeMora, who's having to step up big with his teammate Jaden Swift out. 3rd and 8.
Absolutely, and Berto Demora leading that defensive line with 37 tackles. And guess who's right behind him with 36 and not in the game right now, Cam? Jaden
Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah, this Tulsa defensive front for the last few seasons has been pretty terrifying, and look a little less terrifying right now with Jaden out with the back injury. 3rd and 8 at the Tulsa 42. Pierce, empty 5 wide, going long to Banfield. That's 1K, and that's 6 points. Touchdown, Indy.
Jeff Banfield making it a 2-possession game here early with his 5th touchdown on the season. Had that big play to start the game for Indianapolis with another huge one right there. Getting 1,000 yards here in the first quarter with a 2-possession game. This Ramblers offense is rolling.
Beautiful pitch and catch on already the 16th pass of the game for Colin Pierce. Banfield's up to 110 on 3 grabs. And even though Tulsa has looked sharp so far, Indy just a little bit sharper. Both teams trying to end 2-game losing streaks coming into this contest.
Yeah, and at the end of the season, when you're trying to make that final push for the playoffs, 2-game losing streaks are not what you need. So both of these teams trying to gain some momentum heading into the playoffs.
Trevin Prasad, $6 super chat. I'm going $6 for 6 for Indy tonight. Come on, Ramblers. Let's make me poor. Well, certainly ahead of the wedding. I do not want you to be poor. Have a lady to consider now. It's a whole nother different ball game. Paul knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely. I sure do.
Brooke and Mike, they hold the fate of like 3 teams in their hand. Yes, they do. A lot of teams do. Tyler Falk, $20 in the orange. $20 super chat regardless of the outcome. It's been another fantastic season for the SFL. Cheers to all you players, fans, coaches, owners, broadcasters for making season 20 a roaring success. Go SFL, go! And Tyler, in a couple weeks, I think a dinner has your name written all over it and the check written. What am I trying to say? The check I'm paying is what I'm trying to say. Douglas Brown gets the handoff and nearly gets a first down of the Tulsa 37, saving me from stupidity with 2:18 to go in the first quarter.
And that is a strong run from Douglas Brown. Looks like he was going to be down a few yards shorter, but incredible job for him to fight through a sea of Ramblers defenders to gain the extra 2 or 3 yards there to take him to a 2nd and inches situation rather than 2nd and 4.
Brown 61 yards on 6 carries, 10.2 average. Jake Hughes averaging 8.8 yards per attempt. Tulsa is moving the football. They have just hit the turnover bug inside the red zone on their first 2 possessions.
Yeah, the turnovers not going Tulsa's way. Losing that fumble and throwing an interception in the red zone. Not what JQ and company is looking to do in turning the ball over. So let's see on this drive, as they've been moving the ball fairly easily, how they're going to respond to a 10-point deficit.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Handoff to Douglas Brown, met in the backfield. Getting a push is Derek Jenko. Let's meet the rest of that Indianapolis defense. On the line, Rocco Rossi, who we've heard from already. Mac Dre. Jenko, Jabril Curse also there. Linebackers, Adam Wiseman, Chris Britton III, and Chad McDevitt. Corners, Blake Prine, Angel Maldonado, Ernest McCrae Sr., and Adam Nold. Safeties, Kanye Rockefeller and Bryant James. 2nd and 9 to the 42. Q looking, surveying, and throws into traffic. That pass is incomplete. That's Wiseman in coverage. 3rd and 9 coming up from Tulsa. DJ 199 Super Chat, gotta love Pam on the mic. And Sunday, nothing better. Well, I feel a little bit better about that nickname, but I'm still struggling.
Getting there. Just take some time. It'll kick in for us. And hey, if the fans give it to us, the fans want it, the fans get it.
3rd and 9 at the Tulsa 42-yard line. Q looking. Nobody open initially. Nearly intercepted. Adam Wiseman, another hand on it. And this time the Tulsa drive stalls. It's starting to kind of get away from the Desperados here a little bit.
And that was a huge deflected pass there from Adam Wiseman. 10th on the season. You have 90 tackles to pair with it heading into the night. A huge, huge staple in this Indianapolis defense in Adam Wiseman.
The dangerous Rockefeller back to return. From the 17, Kanye, nice return to the 29. Earlier tonight, Carolina and Sioux Falls got major victories. The games were not close. Minnesota, not the best showing for them. The Minnesota Legends still have a chance at a first-round bye, though. They need Indy and Mexico City wins. They'd be the 4 seed. Congrats to Arizona. They are officially clinched a top 4 seed, so we will not see them in Wild Card Weekend next weekend. They'll either be 2 or 3, and we'll find out tomorrow night. Christian Pierce takes a handoff, picks up 8 to the Indy 36. Swift and Arthur combine on the stop.
And that's a strong run there from Christian Pierce. This season, only 421 yards in this pass-heavy offense, only averaging 2.3 yards a carry. So that play there to pick up 8, that is a tremendous run from Christian Pierce and makes it a 2nd and 2 opportunity.
And he's got 5.7 yards per carry right now. Breaks off a tackle and gets another first down. That's another 5-yard gain. First down to the 41 as Indy takes advantage of a Jaden Swift injury, a rare D lineman injury, not helping Tulsa's chances here so far tonight, nor is it helping anybody that needs a loss or wants a loss out of Tulsa. Indy in control. That means Carolina is 3/4 away from the playoffs, 10-0 Indy on top. Alongside Greg Soto, Ron Haynes on stats, doing a wonderful job. Paul Sarp doing a fantastic job. I'm Cameron Irvine. Start of the second quarter. 2 in the backfield for Colin Pierce. He'll drop the throw. Pierce nearly sacked. Takes a hit and delivers a beauty to Jeff Banfield to the far hash mark. His 4th catch already tonight, more than Roosevelt. Brings up 2nd and 1. Actually equals Roosevelt.
And that was an absolutely huge hit on Colin Pierce there. I'm surprised there wasn't a roughing the passer call there, but being able to put all your trust into your receiver, know exactly where he's going to be, and throwing it right on the money, makes it a 2nd and 1 here for the Ramblers offense.
Banfield's up to 119. Handoff, Christian Pierce breaks a tackle, has a first down. That's another 5-yard pickup. He's making the first man miss every time.
Yeah, and you got to give props to these guards on Indianapolis. Chad Rowland and Max Van Linge taking advantage of Jaden Swift's injury and just being able to block for Christian Pierce extremely easy here on this drive.
First down into Tulsa territory. Colin Pierce has an open Jay Viper. That's caught for a first down. Viper, bro, you're out of bounds. Save the spins for another play. 7-yard gain.
Hey, making the spin a little too late, but if he was in bounds and made that spin, it would have definitely helped his team get a first down there. But hey, this drive so far, Indianapolis has been extremely impressive on 2nd and short situations.
I think he thought the dude holding the stick was Desperado out there. Shifty.
A little confusion there.
2nd and 3. Let's see if Christian Pierce can get 5 more yards on this one. They give it right to him. No, he's stuffed at the line by Philadelphia Collins and company. Mike Mello was also in there on the stop. So 3rd and 3 coming up for Tulsa. $5 super chat from Tyler, keeping his 20 alive. Here, Pierce, have a $5 for your 5 yards. Lord knows what would happen if we broke out a 70-yarder.
Hey, let it happen.
Colin, about the pass is caught. The 2nd time tonight, a deflected pass ends up in the hands of a Rambler receiver. That's Roosevelt's 5th grab.
Wow, 2 tipped passes that possibly could have been interceptions, but it just shows the greatness in this receiving core of the Indianapolis Ramblers. If they're around the ball, you got to watch out for them because they might make a play, as we just saw Ryan Roosevelt do right there.
9:10 to go in the first half. Everything going Indy's way at the moment. putting that 4.5-point home dog line to shame. Colin Pierce deep. Oh, it's picked at the 8. Travis Arthur up to the 20-yard line. That is the 3rd turnover of this game inside the 20.
Travis Arthur having a spectacular season for this Desperados defense. Alongside Marco Swift, he now has 6 interceptions, 5 pass deflections, 61 tackles headed into tonight, and a great job down 10 to get the ball back for your team.
We have been playing this game for 13 minutes, Paul. 224 yards of total offense for Indianapolis, and they're up 10-0. JQ deep. That pass caught by Manning. First down to the Tulsa 41-yard line. Manning's second grab.
And we've seen earlier in this season Gabriel Manning with a game-winning touchdown up the sideline. That play there, attacking the middle on a post route, and a great throw from JQ and a great catch from Gabriel Manning to kind of jumpstart this Tulsa offense in trying to fight back from a 10-point deficit.
Over the outstretched arms of Kanye on that play. I formation here. They'll get Douglas Brown back involved. Brown is going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. A far cry from his 8.3 yards per carry so far. 2nd and 10.
And this Tulsa offense, being down 10, isn't where they wanted to find themselves after the first quarter of play. And we've seen a little bit earlier in the season, they struggle a little bit when they're down 10, but with division on the line here, let's see how they respond to the adversity.
Douglas Brown picks up 4. Now, I think the biggest blessing, Brown is slow to get up. Get up, Douglas. There you go.
That would have been detrimental.
Yes, that would have. I think the biggest blessing last night for Tulsa was they didn't have to worry about 7-5 hell, which knocked them out of the playoffs last season. They are already in. If they lose and Fort Worth wins, they're the 9 seed at Carolina. If they lose and Mexico City wins, they are the 10 seed at Mexico City as JQ drops to throw. He is sacked on 3rd down to force 4th down. Getting him off the field was Derek Jenko, who's had a phenomenal first half.
Yeah, we've heard Derek Jenko called numerous times tonight with his 5th sack on the season to force a 4th down and put the ball right back into the hands of Kanye Rockefeller. Wow, Cam, that's gotta be something they were not looking to do there.
Fair catch called for by Kanye at the 30. If Indy wins and Fort Worth wins, Indy would be your 10 seed at Vancouver in a rematch of that big game that we had earlier this season when Kanye Rockefeller went off. If Mexico City and Indy win, Indy would be the 11 seed at Fort Worth, the 6 seed. 2 up-and-coming squads. 1st and 10 at the 30. Empty, 5 wide on 1st down here for the Ramblers. Staying aggressive. And that pass dumped off short, caught by Hunt. His first catch, so now all 6 targets of this offense have a catch in the first half, a 4-yard gain.
And this is exactly what Colin Pierce has done all season long, get everyone involved on the offense, and it has proven to work wonders for this Ramblers passing offense as they've been #1 basically all season long.
Colin Pierce fires that out, caught by Bamfield. The Indy receivers on the sidelines doing just about whatever they want to. Colin Pierce has now 5 catches to Roosevelt and Bamfield, and most of them have come outside the hash marks.
And then when teams are watching game film on the Ramblers offense, you got to look out for Ryan Roosevelt. So Tulsa's somewhat caught off guard here from Jeff Banfield as Colin Pierce has been looking his way a lot tonight.
2 in the backfield, Colin Pierce to throw, and Jeff Banfield totally burned Nate Heslip on that spot route. I mean, that was just clinical, a 6-yard pickup.
Jeff Banfield absolutely having himself a night tonight. That's now his 6th reception for 136 yards. Have a touchdown, and you started this game with a 64-yard play. On pace for nearly 300 yards here. Wow, what a start to this game.
Colin Pierce out to Roosevelt, caught again. First down of the Tulsa 42. Roosevelt and Banfield just trading tit for tat. 6 catches each.
When you have 2 receivers like Roosevelt and Banfield, it just helps the quarterback Colin Pierce out so much. And Colin Pierce first in the league in numerous categories in passing yards, completions, attempts, making a MVP type performance here in season 20.
Colin Pierce outside, intercepted. Oh. And getting up and running is Ware. Ware past the 40. David Ware, one of the best pick sixes ever by a linebacker. Touchdown, Tulsa. That was incredible.
Run, big man, run. David Ware getting his team back in it there with an interception, making it a 6-10 game, and that is exactly what Tulsa needed there, as David Ware went up and got it,
didn't touch him
as he hit the ground, and off to the races, had the blocking there. Just a truly exceptional play there from David Ware to help Tulsa get back into this game on Sunday night.
He was not touched. That was just an incredible play from David Ware. His first interception of his career and his first pick six. That is just absolutely remarkable in the biggest game of the season.
Most definitely the biggest game of the season for his team, and trying to go into the playoffs here with some momentum and get a win rather than going into the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak. What a time for David Ware to make a big play for his first career interception, let alone return for a touchdown. That's just a great play.
This is wild. Nate Heslip, a 2-time All-Star and an 11-season veteran who has 55 interceptions in his career, 16th all-time, also has 1 pick six in his career. I mean, that is wild. Kanye returns to the 23. DJ Woods, $2 super chat. Linebacker interception for the win. Anyway, who wants ice cream? Me. I want it.
And I know Steven Hacker would love some vanilla ice cream as well. So DJ, we got to bring the ice cream through for the whole crew.
That was a bad time to take a drink, man. Almost spit it all over the monitors. Vanilla ice cream. Get out of here. 1st and 10 of the Indy 23, 5:05 to go in the first half. Christian Pierce picks up 3 as Paul tries to prove all the ways he can to show that he watched the show last night.
You have to. When there's 16 different scenarios on the line, we saw now that in the first block, a couple of those scenarios are out of the water now, and it's just amazing to see all the different ways that 2-3 games could change the playoffs.
And up to Christian Pierce. He's going to pick up 2. I'm not even going to mention the person in the chat, but I didn't even mention your name. So you can't get mad at me because I totally left you out of it, and I'm going to keep leaving you out of it. Instead, I'm going to talk about the fact that Indy has 257 yards of offense, and they're up 3. And, I kind of like what Tulsa's doing. They're saying, look, we'll give you 10-yard routes all day, but we're going to wait and force and make you make a mistake. We're going to keep this game close to keep Douglas Brown a part of the game plan, as that pass is somehow hauled in at the Indy 43. Jeff Banfield is playing out of his mind tonight.
And that is truly one of the best catches I've seen. When you have defenders that are waiting for you to catch the ball after he takes a huge hit there. Just a great job there to hold on to the ball. Marco Swift with an absolutely massive hit on Banfield, but that's just a great job from Banfield to hold on to the ball.
152 and 7 receptions. Banfield has more yards than Tulsa does. Colin Pierce's pass is caught by Roosevelt. Roosevelt with a spin, broken tackle down to the Tulsa 38-yard line before the play is finally cleaned up by Gibson.
Wow. Just Ryan Roosevelt making that final MVP push, trying to prove why he has been extremely valuable for this Ramblers offense, spinning out of tackles, making defenders miss. Great play from Roosevelt there.
1st and 10 of the Desperado 38-yard line, bumped off the route, doesn't matter. Jeff Banfield still picks up 6. How many times Paul, have we seen a player bumped off a little route like that and end up losing 3 yards? Jeff turns it into a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, and just back and forth. It's truly a sight to be watching right now. Is one to Ryan Roosevelt, the next one to Jeff Banfield, and just back and forth so far in this first half. Colin Pierce just having his way with this Desperados defense, minus his 2 blemishes, his interceptions so far in this half.
158 on 8 catches, 10 targets for Banfield. Hit as he threw. The pass is still caught. Colin Pierce to Jay Viper for the first down to the Tulsa 22-yard line.
And Marco Swift laying the hits on these receivers, trying to break the ball up and force an incompletion, but when you have a receiving core like the Ramblers do, it just proves and shows why they are the #1 receiving core in the league.
First down of the Tulsa 22. Pierce going to the end zone. It is tipped up and nearly intercepted. Oh, we could have had it in the end zone. Pass intended for Rob Hunt. I think that was Arthur who had a chance at his second, and this has been the danger zone for both offenses.
Yeah, this Tulsa Desperados defense trying to shorten the field and force Colin Pierce into a tougher position in throwing the ball, and Travis Arthur definitely wishes he could have came up with that one to get the ball back for the second time for your team.
Second down to the Tulsa 22-yard line. Pierce back to throw. Roosevelt route undercut by Shaw unsuccessfully. Roosevelt picks up 11. Both Roosevelt and Banfield, they must have a bet going. They're both at the 8 grabs. We've hit the 2-minute warning of, dare I say it, the best half of football we have seen all season. Indy up on Tulsa 10-7. Don't go anywhere. What do you think, Paul? Best half? Anything else stick out?
It's definitely been, it may have been the best half we've seen on Sunday night or Monday night, but this is just an exciting game to be watching.
Outside, Banfield again. 2nd and 5 at the 6. 319 yards of offense. That, like, I haven't seen 324 now. I haven't seen this in like 8 years.
Yeah,
just
and
wild.
To only come up with 10 points with that many yards in one half is I'm not even sure. It's something we're not used to seeing from Indianapolis, and just Tulsa getting the turnovers they need.
They got to get a touchdown here to make it all worth it. Handoff, Christian Pierce is going to walk in and do just that. Score for the Ramblers. Late hit won't matter, and it's a 9-point game.
Christian Pierce making this whole first half for the Ramblers offense worth it there, putting 6 points up on the board. David Ware after a huge pick 6 on that last drive with the late hit there. But as you mentioned, does not matter. Indianapolis is going to take the 6 points and try to kick an extra point here to make it a 10-point game for the second time tonight.
You know, that's one of those penalties, Paul, where you just want to remind Christian Pierce that you're still here, right? You got the pick 6. You're feeling good. Hey, man, it's going to cost me 1 yard on the extra point. Big whoop. I'm still here. Don't forget my name. We'll see if Indy can do just that if they pull away from this one. $6 soups from the Prasad brothers for the Ramblers touchdown. And Indy's up 17-7 over the Desperados with 1:54 left to go. That gives Tulsa and Gabriel Manning some time.
Yeah, and we've seen Gabriel Manning return 3 touchdowns on 3 kick returns returned for a touchdown this season. Probably the second most dangerous returner in the league this season, but definitely looking to make a play here.
Gabriel Manning to the 29. Look at the plays. 43-20. We've barely seen Tulsa's offense on the field here tonight. And when they've been on the field, they've been pretty great. 6 yards per play. $9.99 super chat from Skip. Let's go. Boy, Carolina is fired up for potentially a playoff trip.
Yeah, Carolina most definitely Indianapolis fans tonight.
High formation, JQ fires it outside. That pass is caught by Manning, and what a nice turn back upfield to get a few more yards to the 35-yard line, his third catch.
And I definitely thought he was going to be going out of bounds with that, but that just is proving why he is an elite receiver in the SFL, to be able to stop on a dime and turn it right up the field just like he did to gain an extra 3 yards for his team.
1:20 left in the first half, 2nd and 4 at the Tulsa 35. Handoff Douglas Brown, and Brown only picks up 1. They'll go no huddle. Brown has had a little bit of a harder time getting going in the second quarter. 3rd down and 3. They audible to a pass. JQ shuffling around in the pocket. Hit as he threw, and that is incomplete. Pressure in his face from Jabril Curse. 4th down. Now Indy gets a minute.
And a minute is a lot of time when you're the #1 pass offense in the league and you only have a minute and you're up 10. If Indianapolis can capitalize on this opportunity they have in this first half, they may be going into the second half with a little bit bigger lead than they were maybe thinking they would have had.
High snap, but corralled. Fair catch again from Rockefeller at the 29. Tulsa making sure that he does not have an opportunity to get a return going. So back comes Indy for one more opportunity. They are most certainly in control right now. But with the way that Tulsa's been playing defense, if they just keep Indy in front of them, turnovers seems to be always in the cards. Offside, that's not going to help. I think they'll take it. It'll be 1st and 5.
Going back to what you said with Tulsa's defense, they're 8th in the league in season 20 with 27 interceptions. So the turnovers have definitely helped them throughout 13 weeks of the season, and they have a couple here tonight, but just find themselves down 10.
Tulsa gives up 281 pass yards per game. That's middle of the road, 15th. Christian Pierce has 292 passing yards in the first half.
That's tough.
Tough is a good word. 1st and 5 at the Indy 34. Handoff Christian Pierce. Oh my gosh. That was a pancake if I've ever seen one from Chad Rowland. A vicious block. Pierce gets 4, and Colin Pierce is decked. A 5-yard loss. He's holding his head, and then Mike Mello screams on top of him. That was just rough all around, or tough all around.
Mike Mello trying to fire his defense up to get this Indianapolis offense off of the field. Let's see what's going to happen here as the clock winds down on 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, they go play action, and Colin Pierce goes outside, hauled in, out of bounds. 1st down. Jay Viper's 4th catch. So 9 seconds remains.
Jay Viper, after being behind Ryan Roosevelt and Jeff Banfield all season, having a pretty impressive season as the 3rd receiver. 42 receptions, 455 yards headed into tonight. Already making an impact as well.
And off Christian, his 11th carry. And Indy will line up for the Hail Mary. Sioux Falls completed a Hail Mary earlier tonight, but it fell short of the end zone. We'll see what Colin Pierce can do. And heaven forbid, he's going to break the stat sheet if he completes the Hail Mary. Not much more we can do for this guy tonight.
Yeah, and Colin Pierce has an absolute cannon of an arm. So when you're on your own 43-yard line, you're up 10. Why not try to send one deep and possibly make it a 14-point game, 17-point game?
So Hail Mary here for Colin Pierce. Pierce with an unblocked man is, well, they're going to get another playoff. I think that was Heslop on a corner blitz. So, I mean, I don't really like what Indy's doing with this this last drive here, Paul, because Colin Pierce has taken 2 big shots.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's really getting roughed up out there.
Yeah, and if your franchise quarterback gets hurt on one of these plays, a 10-point lead may not be able to hold up. So trying to run early on the drive to maybe take the time down, but forcing your quarterback into tough situations here.
No Hail Mary here. Instead, Colin Pierce will just pad the stats. Ryan Roosevelt for the Tulsa 44. That's over 300 passing yards in the first half, and that's with Christian Pierce getting 11 carries. A first half dominated by Indy, but not necessarily domination on the scoreboard. 17-7. Ramblers, with Roosevelt's number, leads the Desperados here at the half. With that, we take you through the highlights and the first half statistics. Paul, your leading thoughts after 22 minutes.
So after this first half of action, Cam, the Ramblers offense has been absolutely almost perfect, minus Colin Pierce's 2 interceptions, 1 to Travis Arthur, and a pick 6 to David Ware. But this Tulsa defense has been impressive despite Jaden Swift, one of their best defensive linemen, getting hurt early in the first quarter. So the Tulsa Desperados, they haven't scored any points yet on offense, but their defense has really kept them in this game.
The good news for Tulsa is that they're down 10, despite basically putting their defense on the field the entire game. The bad news is that their offense has not scored a single point tonight. If it wasn't for the heroics of David Ware and his first career interception and first career pick 6, I mean, we'd be talking about this game being a wrap. But there's just something about what Tulsa has done tonight that is interesting, right, Paul? I mean, they've looked all right. They just have not been able to turn it into points.
Yeah, and for Indianapolis to have almost 3 times as many offensive yards than Tulsa has in one half of play, to only be down 10, you got to take that as a victory for your team. As you mentioned, as we see here, David Ware returning an interception for a touchdown. Without that play, we may be looking at a 17-0 game, and Tulsa's offense only 126 yards. Indianapolis with 357 on offense. So this Ramblers offense is playing like their playoff hopes are on the line, and they need a win to get in, Cam.
Corey Jones for Tulsa does not have a target in this half. He has 402 receiving yards this season, and Jeff Bamfield has 163 in one half.
Yeah.
Like, that just shows the difference in, the styles and what we've seen out of these 2 different offenses as we start the second half. With Indy kicking off to Tulsa, that's another positive for the Desperados. They get the ball to start the second half of play, along with Ron Haynes and Greg Soto on stats. Paul Sarp on analysis. I'm Cameron Irvine here for the first of 3 play-by-plays on my plate this week. As Manning gets it up to the 29. Of course, we have Impact Monday tomorrow, Fort Worth and Mexico City. And then the final scheduled 4K23 exhibition game, Atlanta at Charleston, Thursday, April 20th.
Yeah, and going back to how you mentioned Corey Jones, no receptions and no targets. Joining him on Tulsa, Sonzo Robinson and DJ Bandit. So let's see how JQ is going to get the rest of his receiving core involved in the second half.
JQ 5 for 9 in the first half, and that pass is incomplete. Looking for DJ Hume, and he threw that into a mess of traffic. Ernest McCrae Sr. has been pretty quiet tonight in coverage, sets up second down.
Yeah, and a dangerous throw there from JQ. Thankfully for him in Tulsa, it wasn't intercepted. When you have a secondary like you have in Indianapolis, a turnover is just a snap away from giving the ball back to the other team.
JQ outside. Manning turns the corner, picks up 8. Set up a 3rd and manageable. There's the quarterback statistics.
Wow. That's just Colin Pierce just lighting it up tonight, and JQ just kind of struggling, not necessarily moving the ball as easily and efficiency as Colin Pierce is.
3rd and 2 at the 37. Douglas Brown does not get it. They have really shut him down after a really positive first quarter. That wrap-up from Chris Britton, the third, and Tulsa will go 3 and out on their opening possession of the third. That is not what they were looking for.
Not at all. And after Douglas Brown's first run of 34, had a few runs after that that were pretty impressive, but ever since that second quarter, he's been extremely quiet. Definitely got to get Douglas Brown going to help JQ get that passing game going.
From the 22, Rockefeller gets to the 29-yard line. One of the reasons I brought up Corey Jones and put him on blast a little bit here tonight was if Indy and Fort Worth win, Carolina would host Tulsa in the first round. Corey Jones caught a Hail Mary in the yesteryear of the SFL to beat Carolina in one of those games, and so that would be a very interesting first round matchup as Banfield collects it for 6 yards. Carolina could also go to Vancouver if this result holds, and obviously there's a multitude of storylines there. Curtis versus Skippy, Andy playing the team that he started with, and many, many more.
And that's what make this time a year special in the SFL. All these storylines, teams fighting for a chance to win the championship and knock Baltimore off. You gotta love this time of year, Cameron, time of season.
2nd and 4, and Christian Pierce gets nothing, strung out to the left. David Ware continues his exceptional night. Also a part of that Indy Mexico City win scenario would be Tulsa going to Mexico City. That would be a game between Phoenix Jones, the first running back to ever get drafted live on television, and Douglas Brown, the former number 1 pick, who had a party the night of his draft. As Pierce's pass is incomplete that time, the jam very successful from Nate Heslip, and that will force Indy's offense off the field.
Yeah, and so far tonight, Indianapolis has been money on these out routes to Banfield and Roosevelt, and Nate Haslip finally getting the better of Colin Pierce. And if the right adjustments are made, if Indianapolis is going to continue that play call, you better watch out for this Desperados secondary, because they're just waiting for an opportunity to take one back for the second time tonight.
In the first half, we only had 1 3 and out. That was Tulsa's last drive of the 2-minute offense. And we've started the second half with back-to-back 3 and outs. This is Indy's first of the night. But Tulsa, with back-to-back 3 and outs on their possessions, they got to get the offense back moving. As Manning breaks a tackle. Manning drew 3 all the way to the Indy 44-yard line, and coincidentally, he's tackled by Kanye Rockefeller to potentially save a touchdown.
Wow, and that is the spark that Tulsa needs here in the second half. Gabriel Manning is no stranger to making big plays on offense and special teams, with a great return there to start off in Indianapolis territory for Tulsa.
9:03 to go in the third. Q gonna pass. Q's pass is caught. DJ Bandit, first target, first catch to the Indy 28-yard line.
A great job to get the tight end involved in the second half. When you get the tight end involved, it makes your receivers, it makes the defense kind of focus a little more on other targets, and it may open up an opportunity for a Gabriel Manning long pass opportunity, or Corey Jones, Sonzo Robinson to make an appearance as well. So that's a great play from JQ to DJ Bandit there.
12 passes, 86 yards, 12 runs, 71 yards for this offense. Q steps up in the pocket and is sacked. Jenko again, his second.
when you have a player like Derek Jenko who leads your team in sacks, who only had 4 coming into tonight, now with 2, bringing JQ down, trying to get Tulsa back out of field goal position. It's 2nd and long now instead of 2nd and short, so let's see how Tulsa is going to respond after that sack.
8:10 to go in the third, 2nd and 14 at the Indy 32. Q to throw. Outside, Douglas Brown wide open, and Brown somehow only able to pick up 6. Bryant James, excellent close on that route. I thought Brown was gone for 20 yards.
Bryant James, haven't heard him much tonight, but former #1 overall pick, closing the gap there. To be able to bring Douglas Brown down is no easy task, and Bryant James was able to do it there. We got 3rd and 8 here now for Tulsa.
We got a few of those out there on the field as Q's pass is incomplete right at the kneecaps of Bryant James. That ends the drive. That's a little bit of a disappointing end for Tulsa, who's in their rust helmets tonight.
And yeah, when your offense hasn't been on all cylinders in this game, you got to take the points as they come, and this now gives Brooke Beisel an opportunity for her 27th field goal of the season, currently 2nd in the league.
43-yarder for Brooke Beisel, and that kick is good. 17-10. It is a 1-score game despite the onslaught of Indianapolis offense. And we got Douglas Brown, Bryant James, their #1 picks. Kanye's in the chat. He was a #1 pick many seasons ago. For some reason, that sounds familiar to me. Well, let me know in the chat if that's true. Maybe somebody else knows as well. Reaching deep into the records for that. Rockefeller 5 yards deep in the end zone, and I was going to say, Paul, he's never met a kick return he didn't like, but Tulsa's doing their best to keep him out of the game. He's had a lot of fair catches tonight, and Beisel rips that one.
Brooke Beisel having a great season. That field goal that she just made, 27 for 28. Coming into tonight, 2nd in the league for both of those. So that's just a great season from a great kicker.
7:25 to go in the third. Colin Pierce down the field, intercepted. Tulsa's defense gets the stop they needed. Travis Arthur, brilliant this evening.
And almost had 3. This almost could have been his 3rd interception after that. I believe it was 2 drives ago, dropped the tip drill. But to be able to come up with your 2nd interception on the night, your team's down 7. You're giving your offense all the opportunities to tie this game up. So that is the turnover that Tulsa needed. And Travis Arthur coming up with another big turnover there.
1st and 10 of the Indy 36. Short field for a struggling offense could be what Tulsa needs. Q will start with a pass out to Brown. The flats are covered. Brown breaks off a tackle and then pushes ahead to pick up 4. We've talked a lot about Carolina. Brown's slow to get up again. Boy, I fear for his safety tonight. We've talked a lot about Carolina tonight and their clinching scenario. San Diego's in the opposite boat. If Tulsa wins, San Diego is in the playoffs. If Tulsa loses, San Diego is eliminated. So both San Diego and Carolina cheering for opposite teams right now as Brown gets nothing on that. He's slow to get up again as that is he's wrapped up by McDevitt.
And both of these defenses, they're playing like it's a playoff atmosphere. We're only a week away from playoffs, and these teams look ready for the playoffs, and these defenses are just absolutely laying the offense out.
3rd and 7 at the Indy 33. Pump fake, but too late and out of field goal range. JQ is dropped. Rocco Rossi with the sack.
Rocco Rossi with his 1st sack of the season. As you mentioned, it gets Tulsa out of field goal range. Last drive started on Indianapolis's 44. This drive starting on the 34. Just can't get anything going.
Oh, they blocked it! They blocked it! It's deflected and picked up by a big man rumbling down to the Tulsa 25-yard line. Oh, sensational. That block punt picked up by defensive tackle Bam Bam Cook. He caught it midair.
Bam, bam. Catching the ball and running with it. That man's a little slow. He couldn't break it the whole way, but wow, what an exceptional play there. Bam Bam cooking his way down the field.
That ball pops straight up in the air, and Christian Pierce goes right back into the ground. Travis Arthur with another hit. $7.50 super chat from Gunny saying Week 14 division games, great decision by the SFL community. More 7 and 5 scenarios. Fortunately, we got all of our scenarios last night, so we don't have to worry about that for another 6 months. But division games definitely make it spicy. There's a free play for Colin Pierce, and I don't know how he delivers that to Roosevelt, but that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, that was a truly incredible pass there, putting it right on the numbers for Ryan Roosevelt. That's just a phenomenal pass right there.
$5 super chat from Will Todd. 118 watching and only 34 likes. Smash that like button, gang. I couldn't agree more. By the way, on the punt block, Angel Maldonado for Indianapolis. Getting, well, really just the body into it. Blocked it with, well, I won't get into that. I was gonna tell you what my dad calls my stomach, but it's not a compliment, so I'm just gonna leave it. Colin Pierce out to Christian Pierce, picks up 1 to the 13-yard line. 5 minutes to go. Travis Arthur, another tackle. He's up to 7 now with 2 picks and a pass deflection.
Yeah, having himself a night tonight. Get 2 interceptions and making all these huge tackles for your team.
2nd and 9 to the 13. 4:40 to go in the third. As Pierce goes into the end zone, it is, oh no, he's out of bounds. Picked off by Marco Swift for the moment. I don't think Marco got a single foot in. Let's see the replay.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We saw Indianapolis win a challenge earlier.
Oh,
that's close. He might have had that 1 foot in bounds. Let's see if the Ramblers are going to use their second challenge.
No, they won't.
Wow.
It must have been, Paul, it must have been the right foot.
Yeah.
And they're calling possession with the right foot out of the back of the end zone. I cannot believe they're not even going to challenge it as JQ goes down the middle and throws a pick. The ball don't lie, apparently. Picked off by Maldonado, who blocked the punt. First down, Ramblers.
Wow. This is just, I can't believe what we're watching right now. Angel Maldonado catching the tip drill, getting the ball right back for the Ramblers. And on that Marco Swift interception, that was his 10th of the season, but Angel Maldonado essentially wiping that out with their own interception.
4:28 to go in the third. Hand off Christian Pierce, and gets 1. Man, Paul, if Indy somehow pulls this out, clinches a playoff spot, it's going to be hard not to want to call a Rambler game in the wild card round because every game we've had of theirs has been exciting.
They're an exciting team to play. One of the most exciting teams in the league, the way that they've been playing this season, and really just coming such a long way from last season after being 3-9. To have a chance to go 7-5 is a truly great performance.
Picked again.
Oh.
This one is hauled in by J Rock, and Tulsa gets it back on the 19-yard line. Greg Soto and Ron Haynes and our stat truck are hanging in there as we turn it over again.
J Rock, this Tulsa defense is, when you only have 148 total yards of offense and you're only down 7 points, it just shows and credit the defense for the way they've been performing. 5 interceptions against Colin Pierce.
Handoff to Brown, picks up 2 in the first half. Indianapolis had 191 yards in the first quarter, 166 yards in the second quarter, and has 18 in the third quarter.
Wow. Definitely cooled off. So it's looking like Tulsa made the adjustments they needed to after a lot of yards from Indianapolis in the first half.
3 receivers, 2 to the left. JQ looking for someone to get open. It is caught. DJ Hume taking a crunch from Bryant James and company, but still holds on to it. Hume's had a pretty impressive night.
Bryant James just DJ Hume running into a wall. Bryant James and Travis Arthur there, just being able to hold on to the ball, move the chains for your team is exactly what Tulsa needs.
Hume, 31 catches on, or 31 yards on 2 receptions, but it feels like more. That's Corey Jones taking a absolute bludgeon to the head. 1st and 10 to the Rambler 49.
That's got to be the 8th or 9th massive hit we've seen tonight. And these defenses, they know what's at stake here. Tulsa trying to clinch the division. Indianapolis needs a win to get in, and they're playing like it.
Q out to Brown. Again, pretty well covered by the Ramblers. Britton the third wraps them up. 2nd and 7 to the Indy 46.
And it's just strange to be calling a game with the #1 pass offense and Tulsa, who's allowing 281 a game, to only have 1 passing touchdown. Is just a strange statistic that we've seen tonight.
Q is sacked. A loss of 6. Another sack for Indy. This is Curse with the takedown. That's 4 sacks from 3 different players. Tulsa has 2 on the other end. 3rd and 13.
And coming into the game tonight, this Ramblers defense only had 12 sacks coming into the game.
Wow.
And to be able to get after the JQ tonight the way that they have been is just truly exceptional.
Q deep drop back on 3rd and long. Looking for someone to get open. The pass is incomplete, and then Robinson is crushed by McDevitt. 4th down. Another Tulsa offensive drive stalls out. Gunny, 750 super chat, says, does Harish need his heart defibrillator for this game? I would imagine so. What's at stake? Carolina and Indy are in with an Indy win. With a Tulsa win, San Diego and Alamo City are in instead. Mexico City has a 50-50 shot tomorrow night no matter what, but they control their destiny. Alamo City has a 50-50 shot no matter what tomorrow night, but they do not control their destiny. 1st and 10 at the 21. Got all that for Indianapolis.
And for Indianapolis to have the first half that they did, having their way with the Desperados defense, have finally cooled off in the second half. You're up 7. Let's see how they're going to respond on this drive to make it a 2-possession game again.
Pierce's pass is caught by Banfield.
Whew.
I can't believe this guy tonight. Sensational.
Yeah. And coming into this game, he had 86 receptions. Currently with 11, only needs 3 more to hit 100 receptions on the season.
2nd and 3, handoff Christian Pierce. They haven't really gotten the ground game going in the 3rd, but another terrific run up the middle for Christian. Collins in part on the stop to the Indy 36.
Yeah, and after having 11 rushes in the first half, to only have your 4th through the 3rd quarter definitely shows that the Tulsa Desperados defense has really adjusted and is finally being able to shut this Indianapolis offense down.
30 seconds to go in the 3rd. 17-10. Indianapolis ball on the left hash of their own 36-yard line. 4-3 defense for Tulsa. 2 in the backfield for the Ramblers. Pierce drops to throw. Pierce in trouble. Throws off his back foot. Pass caught by the fullback. Picks up a few to the Indy 41-yard line. It's hauled in by Vito Veleno. And that'll be the end of the third quarter of play. Put your 12s, 4s, 68s, 86s up in the chat. End of 3. What a brilliant ball game going on tonight. Wild and wacky SFL action continues. Indy 17, Tulsa 10.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Ron Haynes, Greg Soto, Paul Sarp, Cameron Irvine here with you, our Sunday night crew. And a special bonus primetime presentation from the SFL here in Week 14. 2nd and 5 at the Indy 41. And Colin Pierce will throw to Roosevelt. First down to the Tulsa 47-yard line. Roosevelt with 11 catches to go with Bamfield's double ones.
Just when one receiver gets one more than the other, Colin Pierce finds the other one. It's been back and forth battle between both of these receivers all night, both with 11 receptions, Roosevelt with 121 yards, Banfield with 176, and then you have JQ in Tulsa with only 129 pass yards through 3 quarters.
He has 12 completions, whereas Roosevelt and Bamfield have 11 each on the reception category. That ball is knocked away by Jay Rock, who already has a pick. 2nd down and 10. Gutney with the $5 super chat. Salute to the stat truck, Ron Haynes and the Greg Soto.
Huge shout out to the stats truck with a ton of turnovers and big plays happening, fast-paced football. They're hanging in there tonight.
Gunny Ron appreciates that. Put it in the chat. David Ware's in the house tonight, too. Great pick 6 from earlier. As Pierce's pass, is it doomed? David Ware almost had a second one. That would have been crazy. 3rd and 10 as Bamfield was blanketed.
That would have been absolute madness if David Ware was able to take that one away. He had nothing but grass in front of him, and coming into the night with 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions to get 2. Wow. Very close there. David Ware definitely wishes he could have came up with that one. Indianapolis is glad that they have another chance here on 3rd and 10 to move the chains and keep JQ and the Tulsa's offense off of the field. Let's see what's going to happen here.
3rd and 10 at the 47. Indy with 4 pass deflections and 5 interceptions, or that's Indy's defense. Tulsa's defense as Bamfield gets a catch but short of the first down, has 8 pass deflections and 5 interceptions. As we hit a 4th and 3, and Indy just outside of field goal range is going to have to punt.
Yeah, and if you're Indianapolis, you definitely wanted to come up with at least 3 points there to make it a 10-point game. But when you're not in field goal range, you just got to put your trust and faith into your defense, who's came up all night so far.
Inside the 10. Look at that punt all the way down to the corner at the 2-yard line. Matty Wiseman, perfection.
That is just a flawless punt there. To be able to pin the ball on the 2-yard line, and after the bounce, the ball was still in bounds. You can't get much more precise than that one.
415 to 178 in a 7-point game. Tulsa's yards per play has dipped down to 4. Douglas Brown doesn't have any room in between the tackles there. Picks up just 2, but gives them a little cushion to the 4. This is huge, Paul. They don't want to be punting out of their own end zone. Could give Indianapolis essentially scoring range field position.
Absolutely, and the last 2 times we saw Tulsa's offense, they started the drive in Indianapolis territory, but still came up short on both drives. Let's see how they're going to fare from their own 4.
Stretch to Brown, and Brown spins away, nearly got a first down. Dre with the tackle. Oh, boy, I thought he was hurt again. He is psyching us out tonight. Gets 7 on the play. I'd like to see him stay outside and go outside more. It seems like he's had more space out there tonight.
Most definitely. The former Albuquerque Adam has been a little quiet in the 2nd and 3rd quarter, but he's just one play away from, and one broken tackle away from another huge run. So let's see how Tulsa's going to respond on 3rd and 1.
Tulsa is 0 for 7 on 3rd down tonight, and they just converted their first. They were 0 for 4 in the 3rd quarter. Tulsa finally stays on the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, Tulsa has definitely been struggling on 3rd downs to make it to the 4th quarter. 8 minutes left and just getting your first 3rd down. It's showing why they haven't scored yet in this game.
JQ outside, nearly picked. Blake Prine, almost a prime time moment on Sunday night. 2nd down.
Blake Prine, 16th pass deflected this season. Came into tonight 4th in the league in passes deflected, and almost making a prime time play there.
And for a corner, a lot of it is linebackers, slants over the middle. So for a corner to have 16 deflections, that's pretty impressive out of Prine in his 5th season. 2nd and 10 to the 14. Douglas Brown is tackled in the backfield. This offensive line is getting worked. Jabril Curse. Indy's D-line is playing their best game of the season tonight.
Most definitely. To be 24th in sacks through 13 weeks, to be 26th in tackles for loss with 50, they are really showing out tonight.
They now have 6 TFLs on the night. That pass is picked off. Ernest McCray Sr., 15, down to the 10-yard line. Indy in prime position as Q throws another one away.
Wow, Ernest McCray Sr. trying to seal the deal for his team and secure their playoff positioning. That is an incredible interception from McCray to get the ball right back for your offense, and to start on the 10-yard line puts Indianapolis in a beautiful position to try and close this game out.
An ill-timed super chat from Dave Axis, 17-17, desperate for some desperado offense, and instead a pick from JQ gets Indy a 1st and goal at the 10. They've had red zone struggles. The pass caught by Banfield, but he's 1 yard short of the goal line. 13th catch for Jeff.
Wow, just 13 receptions on 18 targets, and you're not even the number 1 receiver on your team. It just shows that Colin Pierce is doing an exceptional job at showing love to all of his receiving core tonight.
Christian Pierce, 56 yards on 15 carries. They've run it in this situation, but they're going to throw back in the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Knocked away by Gibson. Why not just give it to Christian? 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Indianapolis has had pretty good success on 3rd and goal and 3rd and short opportunities running the ball with Christian Pierce, and we've seen Colin Pierce struggle a little bit with the turnovers in the red zone. So let's see here if they're going to try to rush it with Christian Pierce on this play.
Goal line set. Roosevelt, Banfield, both at the bottom of the screen. Handoff, Christian Pearson gets in. Touchdown, Indy. They're back up by 2 scores.
Christian Pierce, only 2 touchdowns coming into tonight, doubling his total with his 2nd touchdown there, making it a 13, possibly 14-point deficit for Tulsa. If there's a time for Tulsa's offense to come alive, it is on this next drive, Cam.
Either that or Manning, right?
Yeah, that too.
You got a special teams field goal from Brook. You have a defensive pick 6 from David Ware, and Manning and the offense need to get moving. There's a $6 super chat from the Prasad brothers. Actually, 7. Oh, the extra point is blocked. It's still loose, and it's ruled dead. Top Kiefer's kick is blocked. So we've seen a punt blocked, an extra point blocked. We've seen a fumble. We've seen 8 interceptions. And we see a 13-point margin at the end. That was a $7.69 super chat from Harish earlier. $9.99 from Skippy. Let's effing go and let's effing block somebody.
We've seen a lot of blocks tonight, so we might be seeing the 3rd. You never know.
from the 3. Gabriel Manning on the return, and nothing there. Indy locks it down. Well, 7:24 to go in the fourth. You've been outgained 425 to 188. Down to 3.7 yards per play. In the first quarter, Tulsa averaged 6.7 yards per play. It has gone down in every quarter. They're averaging 1.7 yards per play in this quarter. They have to get the offense moving. Offside free play. Douglas Brown. Just no juice. Just no juice.
Yeah.
They'll take the 5.
Yeah, with his 18th or 19th carry of the night, just after all of these huge hits from this Ramblers defense, Douglas Brown looking a little fatigued, and after running all season long, just looking to slow down a little bit here in this game. And I don't want to count Tulsa out yet. They could still win this game if they can score here on this drive, get Indianapolis' offense off of the field, and score another quick touchdown. Just, you got to get something going here on this drive.
23-10, 6:53 to go. 1st and 5 at the 32. Handoff to Douglas Brown, 2 yards short of a first. Since Tulsa put up 50 on Jacksonville, they've actually been struggling offensively. They beat Louisiana 28-0 in a game where Brooke Beisel kicked 7 field goals. They then scored 20, 26. They had 27 in a loss to Seattle, and then 10 last week and 10 here tonight, and only 3 of that has been by their offense. So Tulsa really has to get going, but they throw a pick here. It's taken back. He fumbled it, and the ball's still loose. It's still loose, and Douglas Brown recovers the fumble. Tulsa gets it back at the 18-yard line.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Chad McDevitt coming up with the interception from JQ, but trying to score for the second linebacker pick 6 of the night, just couldn't hold on to the ball, and it allows Douglas Brown to recover it and get the ball back for your team and a fresh set of downs.
Oh my gosh. This has just been insanity tonight. 1st and 10 at the 18. They get it back, and Douglas Brown gets nothing. They just cannot figure out how to get this train moving. Adam Wiseman with the tackle.
Wow, just Douglas Brown, he has been shut down after his phenomenal first quarter performance, and just when you can't run the ball, it makes that passing game so much harder than it should be.
Q dumps it off because Douglas has got no blockers. Hung out to dry, 3rd and 9. Whew. Britton the 3rd with the wrap up. We're back to 3rd and 9.
And when you've been struggling like you have been for Tulsa, it makes it tough to air it out and try to find the open gap in this defense. And JQ currently 13 of 24. Let's see how he's going to respond on 3rd and 9 here.
The D-line's been balling too. Q down, but a caught first down. DJ Hume dragged down from behind at the 30. Hume comes up clutch again.
DJ Hume, after 1 reception in the first half, with his 2nd in this second half, currently at 3 receptions, 42 yards. And he's moving the chains for Tulsa, but they just got to figure something out, and they have to do it here fast with only 5 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
Now 2 of 11 on 3rd down. 1st and 10 at the 30. They run, Brown is out. And now they're going to run no huddle with Douglas Brown out. That's insane. Why would you do that? Of all the times, as Manning makes the catch and he gets out of bounds, short of the sticks. I mean, Brown has looked, he's only at 24 carries, but he's just looked gassed tonight. Needed a breather. That could have been a nightmare. Instead, 3rd and short.
Yeah, and for Gabriel Manning in Tulsa, it was a little unfortunate that he couldn't stay in bounds for just a few more inches. So let's see if they're going to convert here on 3rd and short.
Brown back in. 7 in the box for Indy. They're going to throw. JQ outside. Manning taps the feet. You know, Manning has not had his greatest night of his career tonight, but he just makes all the right plays when you need him. 1st and 10 at the 43.
Absolutely. And 10 targets for Manning, only 6 receptions for 55 yards. Not the most prolific stat line, but the plays that he's made and the catches that he's had, they've all been all the right decisions, and he's trying to make an impact and change the tide of this game.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Q fires down the field, incomplete. Looking for Corey Jones. Can't believe that wasn't ruled a fumble. Chad McDevitt had the pick earlier that lost it on the return that Douglas Brown eventually scooped up.
Yeah, and Corey Jones in a sea of gray jerseys.
No kidding.
Seven Indianapolis defenders swarming to him, and definitely heard the footsteps there as he was unable to come up with the completion there.
Ron Haynes and Greg Soto trying to keep up with the rest of us in the stat truck. Probably one of the hardest games to ever stat in league history. 4 receivers. JQ dumps it off. Nice check down to Jones. Now they go no huddle. 3rd and 2 at the Indy 49. 4 receivers. 5 in the box. If you're going to go no huddle, there you go. Q snaps it outside. Pass caught. DJ Hume, 1st down to the Indy 42-yard line. Kind of would have liked to have seen him keep going in that situation. They'll regroup, though. 4:04 to go. Plenty of time for Tulsa. They're going to need an onside kick or something. But they are finally moving the football here in the second half.
And yeah, if they can come up with a touchdown here, their defense has been able to intercept Colin Pierce 5 times. So they're always 1 turnover or 1 onside kick away from having an opportunity to take the lead.
1st and 10 of the Indy 42. 4 minutes to go. JQ fires middle. That pass is caught. Pickup of 8 yards. The longest drive of the night for Tulsa before this drive was 7. That was play number 14 on the drive. 2nd and 2 at the Indy 34. 3:50 to go. Everyone gets back set. Q. Pump fake down the middle. Nearly intercepted by Wiseman. Wiseman's dropped 3 of them. It's 3rd and 2.
And that is what the Ramblers needed to kind of calm down and adjust to this offense, who has had an exceptional drive with their best drive on the night, with the game on the line, the division on the line. Got to convert here, as this may be one of the biggest 3rd downs they've faced tonight.
15th play of the drive that's taken nearly 4 minutes off the clock. 3rd down and 2. Q going to pass. Q is hit and sacked. 4th down. They got to go. It's another cursed takedown. That is 5 on the night for the Indy defensive front.
5 on the night, 12 coming into the night.
Wow.
So 17 on the season. Just what a time for your defensive line to step up with your playoff chances on the line.
Odd defensive set at the top of the screen there with 2 receivers. 4th and 5 at the Indy 37. Q 3-step drop, fires over the middle, caught. 1st down, they convert a 12-yard pickup. Sonzo Robinson, his 2nd catch of the night. 3:06 to go. The drive continues. 1st and 10 of the Indy 25. Play fake, and JQ looks around, fires it for a 2-yard gain to Douglas Brown. There was nothing there.
Got to take a shot here on one of these plays and try and catch this Ramblers defense off guard.
19th play of the drive. 2nd and 8 with 2:45 to go. Q, 3-step drop again, fires, pass, caught, down to the 9-yard line. That's DJ Hume. Tackled by McCray and James. 1st and goal at the 9, 2:33 to go. Tulsa down 13, play fake. Q, looking in zone, and Robinson is short. Out of bounds at the 2. 20th play of the drive.
Wow, what an exceptional drive, and it's showing the fight that this Tulsa team has, trying to fight their way and claw back into this game. To be able to get out of bounds there and kind of regroup is not necessarily a bad thing for this team, but they have been absolutely rolling on this drive.
20 plays on the drive. 2nd and goal at the 2. Q gonna throw. Q end zone, touchdown Tulsa! Unbelievable! DJ Hume, the first offensive points, or first offensive touchdown of the night for Tulsa. It is a 7-point game.
And what a time for DJ Hume to score here. There's still time left. Don't count Tulsa out yet. They're fighting. They want to try to win the division here tonight. And what a play from DJ Hume. What a throw from JQ. And an absolutely prolific drive there late in this fourth quarter to put points up on the board for your team.
A 21-play drive just may have set a new league record. That was ridiculous. Nearly blocked. Beisel kick is good. 2:24 left. All 3 timeouts. Onside kick is coming. If they don't recover, they still have the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts. Indy would have to get 2 first downs. A field goal would do it, but we've seen a blocked extra point tonight.
And based on what we've seen tonight, who knows what's going to happen here on this play.
Onside kick from Brooke Beisel. And it is fielded by Jay Viper at the Tulsa 39 outside of field goal range. Christian Pierce averaging 3.6 yards a carry. You give it to him 3 times, he should be able to pick up a first, but Tulsa knows it's coming. Down 6. If Indy wins, then Carolina and Indianapolis have clinched a playoff spot. If Tulsa wins, then Alamo City and San Diego have clinched a playoff spot, and Carolina and Indy are out. 1st and 10 at the 39. Colin Pierce is going to throw. And Pierce throws to Roosevelt, picks up 6, stops the clock. It does get him into field goal range, but, well, you stick with your identity, I guess, Paul.
Yeah, and Ryan Roosevelt, he's been the #1 receiver in the league all season long. Why not go to your favorite target? And sure, you stop the clock, allowing Tulsa to hold on to their 3 timeouts, but you're closer to a first down and sealing this game.
2nd and 4 at the 33. Tulsa's linebackers showing pressure. They wait for Christian Pearson. He runs right past all of them. First down to the Tulsa 23. So now we're going to get this down to the 2-minute warning. They're in field goal range. 1 first down, depending upon when they get it, could seal the deal or a field goal. Right? I mean, Indy's win percentage has got to be 90% probability at this point.
Yeah, and when your running game's been going for you, I was shocked to see them pass, as Colin Pierce has thrown 5 tonight. So let's see how they finish this drive out.
2 minutes left. Tulsa's in, but can they mess it up for Indy and Carolina? Indy up by 6. Find out next. First down to the Tulsa 23-yard line. Tulsa has all 3 timeouts. Colin Pierce is going to throw. Colin Pierce tipped into the air and incomplete. It stops the clock. Oh my gosh, almost taken away.
Yeah, Indianapolis they're definitely sticking to their identity, but when Colin Pierce hasn't necessarily been having his best game of the season, where you've thrown 5 interceptions, with the game on the line here, do you really necessarily want to throw the ball? Because if you throw an incomplete pass, you're just letting Tulsa hold on to all of their timeouts still.
2nd and 10 at the 23. Colin Pierce going to throw again. Colin Pierce's pass is tipped and incomplete.
Oh, man.
What is the point? I mean, I understand that Tulsa needed 21 plays to get an offensive touchdown, but why? Why?
Yeah, run here. Take it to 4th down. If you can kick the field goal and take the points, it's a 2-possession game, but one poor pass could result in an interception.
Colin Pierce on 3rd and 10. It is incomplete. Almost picked off, so at least they're going to get a field goal out of it. But they've just extended this game by another 15 minutes.
Wow. And that one was the 3rd tipped pass there on this almost in the red zone here, and there was 3 opportunities for Tulsa to create a turnover and get the ball back. But Indianapolis looking to take the points here and thankfully get off of the field with a 2-possession game.
Paul, Christian Pierce has 17 carries tonight, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's not like he hasn't done anything. The field goal is good, so at least Indianapolis can rest easy. They are up 2 scores. with 1:46 to go, but they've made it so much more difficult on themselves. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Michael Jones, who just joined. He said, who needs to lose for Carolina to make the playoffs? So for Carolina to make the playoffs, that would be a Tulsa loss, which is currently happening. Mexico City and Alamo City, their fate will be decided tomorrow night. Tonight, if Indy wins, Carolina and Indy are in the playoffs. If Tulsa wins, San Diego and Alamo City are in the playoffs. And in either of those situations, those two teams are out in the opposite direction. Gabriel Manning returns it up to 25. And I'm feeling pretty good now if I'm in Indianapolis because Manning didn't score. And the last time they needed 21 plays to get into the end zone.
Yeah, Indianapolis definitely must be feeling pretty good with this lead that they have. 9-point lead, less than 2 minutes left. But hey, a game's never over until the clock reads 0.
First and 10 of the 25. QD ball, it is caught at midfield. Timeout Tulsa as Corey Jones lays out for it.
Corey Jones laying it all on the line there to come up with that ball when your offense has been struggling all night long, to catch the defense off guard and send a deep shot to Corey Jones, who comes up with it. You got the ball at the 50, 2 timeouts left. Game's never over till the clock reads 0, Cam.
Paul, I think that JQ saw Corey so open, and I think he rushed the throw. Because if you just put that on him, he's gone. Instead, it's first and 10 in midfield. They've now burned a timeout. JQ fires it outside to DJ Hume. That pass is caught, stops the clock to the Indy 45-yard line. Tulsa's going to need an onside kick regardless. So, you know, whatever they can get out of this drive as soon as possible is what they should probably be rooting for.
Yeah, they need to leave as much time on the clock for a chance to kick an onside kick and get the ball back, to allow your team enough time to possibly get the ball back and score again.
Q to throw outside, wide open. Wow. Corey Jones left all alone. First down to the Indy 38 with 1:31 to go. That may be Indianapolis backing up and trying to make sure they don't get burned deep. We've seen Tulsa beat Portland late on a wide open throw to Gabriel Manning. They're reviewing this. It's kind of surprising. Looked good to me. Let's see on the replay. Yeah,
it definitely looked good there.
Maybe the officials just need a break.
After review, the play stands.
All right. Thanks for that.
Prior to going out of bounds. First down.
Appreciate thoroughness. Just making sure
with all these playoff hopes on the line, you got to be thorough with it.
Yeah, I agree. With everything on the line, you got to make sure that these plays are correct. First and 10 of the Indy 38, 1:31 to go in the fourth. Tulsa's down 9. Defense is shifting for Indy as Q calls an audible here. Q looking around, just got rid of it and almost threw a pick. Q got walloped. He has been hurting. In the first half, he was 5 of 9 passing. He's now 27 of 40. He's thrown 31 passes in the second half.
To throw that many passes and to only come up with 7 points is not ideal, but hey, he's fighting for this division here. If they can score here, get the ball back and score again.
Q out to Manning, first down to the 27-yard line. No, check that. Sonzo Robinson with his 4th catch. Hume with 7, Manning with 6, Jones with 4, Robinson with 4, and Brown with 5. And a balanced night for Jay.
And Sonzo Robinson coming alive in the second half. Had a pretty quiet first half, but to be able to get 4 tough and fought for targets there to help your team drive the ball down the field. You got the clock winding down. You find yourselves down 9. Tulsa's got to find a touchdown here sooner
They're in
than they can.
Dangerous territory here with 2 timeouts now. The clock's going to tick under 120. That ball is floated up to Jones, caught. 6-yard gain to the Indy 22. Tulsa's worst enemy now may just be the clock. They got to get moving. 1:10 to go, down 9. Q looking middle, nearly picked by McDevitt. He's probably kicking himself still for the pick fumble. And that's one of the better case scenarios for Tulsa because it stops the clock.
Yeah, an interception would not be favorable, but Chad McDevitt trying to return another one, making up for that fumble, trying to make it up to his team there, but the clock stops for Tulsa, so definitely the ideal situation from that play.
With 2 timeouts left, you got to score something before the 40-second mark so you can at least potentially get the ball back on a Manning return or something. 1:06 to go, 3rd and 4. Q's pass is caught, but it's over the middle. They got to hurry to the 13-yard line. Under a minute to play. Bandit gets up after the reception. 53 seconds to go in the 4th. Q back to pass. Q steps up, goes to the end zone, pass is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Tulsa! DJ Bandit, it's a 3-point game.
DJ Bandit with back-to-back huge receptions for his team to make this a 3-point game after your offense has been struggling. A beautiful throw from JQ there, and back-to-back impressive drives from the Tulsa Desperados. Strap in your seatbelts, folks. The game's not over till the clock reads 0.
With 49 seconds left, if they don't get the onside kick, they could potentially, well, hey, if Indy's going to throw,
yeah,
who
let
knows?
him throw.
Who knows? Kick is low, but it's good. Now another option, Indy may take knees too. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. 26-24. Paul, back-to-back touchdown drives of 21 plays and 9 plays after no offensive touchdowns all night.
Yeah, to go 3 quarters scoreless and then to heat up when they did is just phenomenal.
Beisel, onside kick, is popped up and it's dropped. It is on the ground and Indy picks it up at the 41-yard line. Woo!
Wow, Cam, that was almost... We were all in for something special if that was recovered there, but thankfully for Indianapolis, they were able to come up with it. And wow, I know a few hearts stopped there.
They're doing knees. They're going to try to run out the clock with the punt, which after the disastrous last drive for Indy, I kind of don't blame them, but at the same time, it's Gabriel Manning. So you better put it in the end zone, right?
Yeah. If I'm Indianapolis, I want to not put the ball into Gabriel Manning's hands. We saw earlier in the season, game-winning Gabriel Manning touchdown. So Indianapolis most definitely is looking to keep the ball out of Manning's hands.
It just may be too early, Paul. I don't know. And like Chris just said in the chat, they could block the punt too. Jay Rock has blocked a couple of punts this season. We almost saw one return for a touchdown earlier tonight.
Bam, bam, Cook.
They're going to get something. They're going to get a shot at something here with 44 seconds left. It's going to be tight. Indy clinging to dear life for their playoff chances. They are clinging to it. There's a 3-second differential. They'll probably snap it with about 6 seconds left. This is giving me Portland, Tulsa vibes all over again, where Manning got the touchdown with less than a minute to go because they left him uncovered or something. Watch Jay Rock. He's on the top of the screen in the slot there of the defense. I would assume they'd come after it, but they may set up the return for Gabriel Manning. Either way, something's going to happen here. And 2 to 3 teams are going to punch their playoff trip and 2 are going home. What's it going to be? They don't go for the block. Instead, it's going to be Manning on the return, and Manning is stopped, and Indy wins, and Carolina's going to the playoffs. What a way to win it. Kanye Rockefeller says, let's go!
What a game. What a finish. Just a truly incredible game for the ages between Tulsa and Indianapolis. For Tulsa to be able to fight back and almost have a chance to recover that onside kick and possibly a chance to score and win the game, Indianapolis is able to hold them off and punch their way into the playoffs. Wow, what a game we just watched, Cam.
Maurice Prasad, $10 super chat. Care and Indy, we're going to the playoffs, baby. $7.50 super chat from Prime Time. Indy's on the way. We are bringing Carolina with us. That's playoffs. And that, you know, Paul, that may have been a top 5 game of all time that at least I have been a part of on the call. That game was incredible.
Phenomenal to see all the different types of interceptions, tip passes for catches, fumbles, blocks. Just, you couldn't ask for anything better to finish off an incredible season 20 here. And we still got a game left tomorrow, Cam.
$10 super chat for Shreven Prasad. Playoff bound, baby. Let's frickin' go. And it's worth noting that with the Tulsa loss, that hold on, let me gather myself here before I say anything. With the Indy win, Carolina and Indianapolis are in. That means that San Diego has been eliminated from the playoffs. $49.99 super chat from Skip. Let's go, Indy. Congrats, we did it, baby. Skippy, feeling it tonight.
No Jack Wall sighting in the super chats when they're all rolling in here tonight.
So we're down to 2 scenarios now. Carolina's in is either the 8 or the 9. Indy's in is either the 10 or the 11. San Diego is out. Alamo City has a 50-50 shot. They do not control their own destiny. Mexico City has a 50-50 shot. They do control their own destiny. They are in with a win tomorrow, and they are out with a loss tomorrow to the Fort Worth Toros. Jeff Banfield, ridiculous. He did most of that in the first half. He wins your player of the game. Alamo City still with a 50-50 shot to make it. They need Fort Worth to win tomorrow. San Diego on the outside looking in tonight. That was a ball game. Indy wins 26-24 for Ron Haynes, Greg Soto, Polytruth, a.k.a. Paul Sarp. I'm Cameron Irvine. What a game. We'll see you tomorrow night for This Week in the SFL and Impact Monday.